Hello and welcome to SevTech Ages episode 6. Today we're going to be finally completing Age 1. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Today's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but let's get into it. I have been in the Beneath for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 hours now. I went into the game files and I actually changed the brightness level, which it doesn't help a ton because as you can see, there's still a black fog around me. But I feel like this helps for both my viewing experience and your viewing experience at the same time. So it also helps me find stuff in the Beneath. So I guess you could technically consider it cheating, but this is not hard to do. This is not something that nobody knows how to do. This is very easy to. You just go into the game settings and you change the option for brightness and you just turn it all the way up. That's all I did. The reason why I did that was because I could not see even on brightest, and even looking back at the recordings, you cannot see. Like, you can't see a foot in front of me. So this is just a little bit better. But we finally found some aquamarine, and that's what we've been needing this whole time. I mean, I've been looking for this stuff for like 2-3 hours now, and I literally could not find it. And I was just stumped. I could not find it. It turns out that I have walked by like 3 or 4 patches of it, so that's always awesome. Yeah, it turns out I'd walked by a bunch of it, so awesome. But now we have some, so you know that's always good. You can see there's some over here, there's some over there, so we're gonna try to go grab some of that. Let's see, right there and right there. I've wasted so many torches. It's insane how many torches I've wasted. I don't want to drop any of this stuff. This stuff is very valuable. Well, that's kind of glitchy. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of glitches the world a little bit, but it'll be alright. Alright, that will be plenty enough aquamarine for like the rest of our playthrough, so we're good there. I don't know if you can see that, but that keeps going, by the way. I kept mining. I kept going. I went maybe 1,000 blocks, and I like mined upwards and around and in a cave, and it was a pain. There's no reason for all that. Okay, so this mine goes pretty far. So as you can see, if we just walk down this way, which it's already pretty long, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit just so that I can get all the way down here. And then right down here is where it actually splits off. So you can see that it goes all the way up there, and then it comes over, and then it goes all the way down. And then it finally goes straight back into our portal here. But I mean, even over here, you can see over here, I've expanded over here, and then I went down, and that's where I got the black quartz. But man, that is just taking forever. Also, I made a black quartz all-in-one tool, which is every single black quartz tool, like a hoe, a sword, a pickaxe, an axe, and everything just put together into one tool, so I don't have to use multiple tools. I just need that one. And I went and I mined a bunch of coal just because we were looking for aquamarine, which I finally found it. The only reason why I was able to find it was because I turned up the gamma. I'm not even kidding you. I turned up the gamma, reloaded the game, was able to find it. So just turn up your gamma if you cannot find it, because I've been stuck on this for I don't know how long. But we finally found it, so now we can actually start working on parchment. So the hardest part about finishing up, because we can finally finish up Age 1. And we can do this in this episode. We can 100% complete Age 1, the rest of these right here, to be able to move on to Age 2 this episode. And the reason why is because all the rest of this stuff is easy except for the parchment. The parchment is really hard to get because we need mulberry trees, which like rarely spawn. It's kind of hard for us to get these to spawn because I don't know where mulberries spawn. It's a very rare tree. Maybe we can skip it if we just go straight to the luminous crafting table. Okay, well that's kind of funny. We can just skip. We can skip doing the parchment and then just go straight to the luminous crafting table, which is the end. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I went ahead and I crafted pretty much all that we're going to need. All that we need are some marble, our aquamarine. Okay, so the only thing that you really have to craft here is the reinforced slates. Down there, super easy to make. All you need is to take a blood altar with 1,000 life points, put stone into it to make a blank slate, and then you take your blank slate with a level 2 blood altar, put it in there, and you get your reinforced slate. Now, we did a bunch of the blood altar stuff last episode that you can see, so if you watch the last episode, you'll be able to know exactly how to do that. And then you just put them in this order right here, and then you only need 1,000 energy of PE, of potential energy, from your Necronomicon. So we can just go ahead and boom. And we're just gonna step back. And there we go. Now we have a luminous crafting table. So we skipped doing the parchment and we skipped doing the astral sorcery, and we just went straight to the luminous crafting table. So that's kind of cool. Okay, now something cool is that, remember how we were talking about parchment being so hard to craft and we weren't able to craft parchment because we need the washi from the mulberry tree? The mulberry tree, whatever. You can actually, there's a different recipe for crafting parchment, which we can use with the luminous crafting table. With the luminous crafting table, we only need. Okay, so future Landon here, you actually cannot craft it this way. It will not let you do this because it is too far advanced into the next stage. So we're going to go ahead and cut to where we're actually finding that out because I'm an idiot. Oh my god, I think I might have found one. You see that tree right there? That might be a mulberry tree. That would be insane if that is a mulberry tree, because I've only been looking for a little bit. Oh, by the way, it turns out we can't do that way of crafting. The game just rejected us. It does not want us to do that, so we're kind of out of luck. But I think I might have found one. And if this is a mulberry tree, I've only been searching for like 10 minutes, so that would be awesome. That would be insane if we found one already, because usually this takes people like hundreds of hours to find one. I don't know if it is, though, because I see multiple others. I think it's just like a normal tree. I think it might just be a normal tree. I don't know. No, it is. It's a mulberry tree. Oh my, this is insane. Okay, we need a sapling. Yes. Wait, look at how far I've gone. Just this area. I found one. That's actually crazy. These are actually so rare to find. We're so lucky. Let's just save this episode because we can't do the other way of crafting. Well, we got one sapling. That's all we need. I think there might be another one over here, which if there is, yeah. What? There's another one? I've seen some people say that they've never seen 2 mulberry trees spawn in the same biome. Oh, and we got even more saplings. Oh, let's go. All right, well, that solves that problem. I was not expecting it to be so easy. That took us like no time. No joke. That's crazy. All right, I'll see you back to base. Okay, yeah, I was not expecting us to be able to find mulberry trees that quick. That is actually insane. We're going to plant a couple of these down. And I should have some bone meal, I think. Yep, I've got some bone meal. There we go. Got another mulberry tree. Okay, yeah, no, these trees don't drop a lot of saplings. That one only dropped 1, so that is lucky. Am I doing this wrong? Oh. Wait, what? Oh my god. Oh, we've got so much microcrafting to do. Okay, so... Oh my lord. Okay, we would have been able to skip a lot of stuff if we were just able to use paper, but we're not. So... Oh god. Okay, so we need mulberry bark. The only way for us to get mulberry bark is for us to use a saw. And we... Oh god. For the saw, We need we need copper gears. We also need flint saw blades, and these take a lot of stuff. A lot. So we're gonna need more glue, like a lot more glue. So, and we need leather too. So I guess I'm gonna get to work on that. Yippee. Yeah, but we need a lot more glue. This is a pain to craft. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is actually a pain. So the copper gears. Okay, so first you need a wooden gear. Okay, and that's this craft, or you can do this craft if you have buffalo tooth and red cedar, which we don't have a lot of, so we're not gonna do that. This is actually easier for us to do right now. And then after that, you have to make a stone gear, which is that wood gear surrounded by stone. And then after that, you can finally make the copper one. If you want to make the flint one, you need tin. So you need to do the whole same process again up to the stone gear, and then surround it in tin, and then surround it in flint flakes, and then you have the flint one. To make the leather belt, you're going to need 2 pieces of leather, and then you have to make those down into leather strips, and then you have to put it with string, so 3, and then you have to make 4 of these leather cordages. And then once you have that, you can finally combine it with a piece of any type of slime or glue. That works, and there you go, you get a leather belt. So we are just waiting on our copper to melt, and then our tin. Hooray! Actually, we've got enough tin that we can do the tin right now. Okay, and then surround our tin one with flint flakes like that. And there's our flint saw blade. And now we just need the copper, so we're just waiting on the copper. And then, once we have the copper, we can finally make the saw. And then once we have the saw, we can finally take our mulberry and put it through the saw to get mulberry wood planks, mulberry bark, and sawdust. And then with that bark, we can take the bark and put it in our wood basin, which we have, to make 4 silk mulberry bark. And then after that, we can put that up to dry for 2 minutes apiece. And with 4 of those, we can make 1 mulberry sheet, which makes us 1 washi. And we need 4 washi. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I've done a ton of crafting, and it turns out to use the sawmill, we actually need a water wheel. So I've been working hard getting the water wheel, and we finally done it. That took a very, very, very long time. Took a lot longer than I would like to admit it did. So now we're just going to find us a spot to set up a water wheel. I feel like right here should be good. Some of the sugarcane can go. Okay, and then we just need to do that. There we go. And then that is so loud. And then I think we can just... God, why is that so loud? All right, there we go. That's all the mulberry bark. Well, that's not all the mulberry bark that we need, but that's some of the mulberry bark. So, oh, that took a very long time. Now we should be able to just throw this in here and then mix it around. Oh, and I got us a little hopper over here to smelt down our copper. That way I wasn't having to just keep putting in copper because it was taking forever. Okay, and we can take this soaked stuff and we can hang it up like that, and we can wait. We need to make some more drying racks. Luckily, drying racks are easy to make. I'll make 4 more right there. And that takes 4 minutes. Because of course it does. Why wouldn't it take 4 minutes? Okay, and we're going to need a lot more of this mulberry bark. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this mulberry pulp. And then we can combine it together to make mulberry sheets. And then if we put the mulberry sheets inside of the press and wait for it to press down, we have a reverse piece of washi. Oh. We only need to do that 3 more times. Oh, God. Okay, we're compressing our last bit of washy sheet here, and we should be able to make some parchment finally. Oh, this has taken like 2 hours. This should not have taken this long. This is way too much. I'm glad we were able to find these trees quick, because if not, this would have taken too much time. Okay. Finally, we can craft a piece of parchment. That took way too long. And now we can craft the astral tomb. There we go. Finally. We finally reached age 2. God. All right, let's pick up our old crafting table and turn it into a Tinker's Construct table now. Boom. So, we are finally in age 2. That took so long to do. So long to do. It should not have taken that long. But now, we can finally continue to progress. So, acquire constellation papers to fill the information in your astral sorcery. Um, oh God. Huh? An iron apple? What? All right, well, I think this is where I'm going to leave this episode off for today. We've made a lot of progress, even if some of it was off camera, a lot of it was still on camera. We did a lot of stuff today. Look at how far we've gone. We went to the beneath, we got ourselves some aquamarine, we made us some parchment paper with mulberry berries. We were able to make a martial knowledge journal. We were able to make a luminous crafting table, and we even started getting into some power. And now we're finally into age 2. This opens up a lot of stuff. Soon we'll be able to get into actual power generation, which is going to be awesome. But we've run out of time for this episode. So I will be seeing you guys in the next episode. See ya.